We are back with Grizzly Connect, ASC senior point guard Jamiko Verner joining Bryant Johnson as we prepare for 3 interviews and another discussion of Adams State athletics. Jamiko is number 1 in the nation in steals, averaging almost 4 a game. For someone who played ball in Denver, had to take the JC route to Arizona. You've always been accustomed to getting steals, but now to do it at such a high level and such a consistent level with the nation now trying to catch up to you, what does that do to solidify all of your hard work?
Just hard work pays off, really, and I gotta thank my teammates too, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to put myself in a position to get those steals.
It doesn't work like that for steals. I'm sorry. I mean, it's nice that you're going to try and go ahead and give your teammates credit, but you're actually ripping the ball away from just one individual. So it's the most selfish statistic, and I know what you're saying because your teammates should be thanking you for how many deflections you get that they are able to receive steals from. But when you're going one-on-one and you're able to consistently pick the pocket of a defender, of an offensive player, how do you notice them kind of losing the confidence of even trying to drive by you at half court?
I noticed, like, when I pick him the first time, like, he'll be skeptical if he wants to bring it up. He'll probably pass it to the forward man bringing it up, and I'll just be like, man, I wish I can guard somebody else right now. Like, it's tough.
We were talking after the Colorado Christian game on last Saturday, and Pilkington, their point guard, had 8 turnovers in the game. It reached the point where he started backing you down at half court. He didn't even want to approach you with the ball lingering in front of him. When you have a point guard who just completely stops attacking you and backs you down, that is when your defense really starts to take up a whole other level because they can't get the offense going. When the confidence is lost by the opposing point guard, how does your team become better defensively?
We become better because, like, we know that we can get in the passing lanes because they're just going to start passing more and the ball pressure and stuff like that, pretty much.
It's Jamiko Verner with the ASC men's basketball team. Your dad was a well-known stealer at the art of stealing when he was at Langston University in Oklahoma. A lot of parents work on shooting and jumpers and everything with their kids in the backyard. But your dad wanted you to learn how to use that nanosecond when the ball's on the ground for a dribble to reach in there and take it. What were those lessons like growing up?
I mean, they were nice. Like, my dad taught me to steal the ball, I think, when I was, like, 8 years old. And ever since then, I just started putting, like, pieces with it and I took it to a different level.
Just being studious, though, and understanding, there's no wasted seconds on the floor. How does that translate to life maybe off the floor? I mean, just being so aware of your surroundings and being able to anticipate. Does it translate off the floor?
I don't think it really translates. I don't know. I don't know how to really describe it. I'm just me.
You just have an innate understanding of how to go after the ball. When you have a game like you did against Christian, when you get 6 steals, though, we hear the theory of a jump shooter having the hoop expand. It looks like a hula hoop out there. Anything you throw up is going to go in. What happens when you're able to constantly get your hand on the ball and create deflections?
My confidence really gets – it grows. Like, it helps me on the offensive end because I feel like my defense translates to the offense.
Well, and offense has become a big part of your game this year. You made your first 3 three-pointers of the year. When you were so focused on defense, and coaches from a young age were saying, this is your game, this is your strength, it's not like you were neglecting offense, but it was so easy to be great and excel at one specific aspect of the game. Now that you have the offense in your repertoire, how much more balanced do you feel?
I feel a lot more balanced and a lot more confidence. Like, when they pass me the ball in rotation, like, if I'm in rhythm, I'm going to take the shot.
And here we are this weekend with Jamiko back in Denver. Only trip, really, to the city of Denver. And in your career at Adams State, you'll get 2 games back in the city you grew up in. We can't imagine how many friends and family are actually going to be involved in these games. When you think about this one weekend and the chance to finally play in front of everyone who didn't get to see you for 2 years when you were a JC in Arizona, now you're here, D2, 11-3 team. What's this moment like?
It's good. Like, I'm happy to see a lot of my friends and a lot of my family, and they get to see me play for, like, the first time. It's going to be a good trip.
What did your mom think when you made the move from Denver to Arizona and wanted to pursue college basketball, but being forced to go to a new state and taking the JC route?
She was very supportive in my decision. Like, my mom and my dad didn't put any pressure on me, but I know, like, I got homesick and they missed me a lot, so that's what that was like. But I was okay.
What kind of care packages were they sending you to make sure that you felt connected to home?
They sending me money every now and then to make sure I was okay and stuff like that, and cookies and stuff like that.
What kind of cookies?
Chocolate chip.
It's Jamiko Verner with the ASC men's basketball team. You guys have had such a hard time on the road this year, and just going on the road and creating that culture of familiarity. It's so hard. At home, you can go over to Coach Wilson's before the game and just kind of bond. On the road, there's always that slight feel of isolation when you're in a new town. What do you try to do to try to create some semblance of similarities when you're on the road so everybody still has the same approach to games?
I just try to keep a smile on everybody's face and keep us focused on the game, because we have yet to put it together a road sweep yet. So we split almost every time except last when we played New Mexico Highlands in Western New Mexico. So yeah.
Jamiko Verner with the ASC men's basketball team chatting with us. You don't want to say it's the end of the road because there's so much season left to go. You've got an entire month of February. You have whatever postseason events await you in March. But just analyzing the next few games and the last few games of your career, where do you feel like you're at from a potential standpoint individually and from a team standpoint as you approach the end and what you guys can still accomplish?
From a team standpoint, I feel like we can be one of the best teams in the nation. I feel like if we keep and stay together as a team, I feel like we can be ranked in the nation and do big things. And as a person, I just really want to get my degree and stuff like that and be a better person.
Great. I'm glad that you took the team approach first, because this means that you cannot mention the team at all for this next question. Okay, this is just strictly about Jamiko Verner and your ability to win the nation's award for most steals from a Division II player. Just looking at where you're at right now and the likelihood of you winning this award, what would it mean to you for just you after all you've put in? All these years of JC transfers, going back to ASC, the 700 shots every morning in Denver this summer, and having a chance to be the nation's best theftmeister.
It'll mean a lot to me because I love defense. That's the most confident part of my game, and I just feel the most confident on the floor when I'm playing. And I don't know how to describe it. It just makes me feel good about myself.
When you are getting some of those tough calls, when you bump a guy from behind and when all three referees are looking at you, that's kind of the hardest point of any guard's game, because there's the likelihood of 1 in 3 of one of them blowing the whistle. When you have to sit on the bench for those extended period of times, you're just stewing. It just seems like a really tragic moment for you.
Yeah, it's tough. I cannot stand sitting on the bench. I tell Coach all the time, I'm not trying to pick up my fouls and just let me try to play through my second or third foul. He really doesn't let me do it that much.
He's never allowed a starter to stay on the floor with 2 fouls in the first half this year. So when you pick up the first, it's almost like the pressure is increasing. It doesn't matter how much time is left on the clock. He's going to pull you if you get the second foul. But you've been on the floor late in games. You and Jack, after picking up 4 fouls against Mines, were on the floor late. It shows how deep your team is, and it seems like if you're going to be there late in the season, it's going to be because of some of the guys who were 9, 10, 11 on the bench. When they can step in and play and you're sitting on the bench, it gives you a sign that this team can accomplish big things. So what interpretation of some of those moves are you getting when you are on the bench with those fouls, but guys like Shahid are able to step in and still steady the ship?
It's good for our team because we need our bench to step up and play really well, especially when postseason starts. And they've been producing lately, and it's really helped us a lot.
All right, Jamiko, well, best of luck throughout the rest of the season, and congrats on at least taking hold of the number 1 spot in steals as of this week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's Jamiko Verner with the ASC men's basketball team. We'll chat with